Om Kayena vacha manasyendrayirva bhutyatmanava prakriti swabhava karomi adyat sakalam paresma Narayanayeti samarpayami Narayanayeti samarpayami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. In this series of videos, we are going to talk about Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, of divine love, of God realization. So we are going to talk about the Narada Bhakti Sutras, a beautiful work attributed to sage Narada that talks about in full length of the path of devotion. May you all find inspiration in this work. May you all find meaning and purpose in your spiritual quest through these words. This kind of work, these words, these sutras, they bring light and they open the door to the life of the real quest for liberation. May you also find divine love in your heart. Moving on, Narada Bhakti Sutras, chapter 5, different definitions on Bhakti. Sutra 23. So a love without it, without the sense of greatness of the Lord, is simply a passion of a woman towards her paramour, woman or man. Because if the element of divine is not here, it is a worldly love, just a worldly love, or coming because of worldly desires. So certain points here. Deprived of the sense of divine greatness, devotion is like the woman, like the love of a woman or a man to its paramour, which is constantly shifting from person to person in indefinite manner according to who seems more desirable. When it is motivated by desires, that love will be constantly changing. And usually it's from God to objects, or from God to man to objects. Man objects, woman objects, everything is the same, insatiate. So the difference is that the love of the gopis was saturated with the knowledge of divine glory. It was pure in nature. It was Shuddha Prem. So this Shuddha Prem is pure love. So in that pure love, that recognition of the glory of the divine is in its fullest. Also desires, they have been eradicated. Only the need to be with God, to love God all the time. The relation of the gopis with Shri Krishna is liable to be misunderstood as something physical by the sensually minded ones. So people tend to project onto others their own motivations and things. So it can be misunderstood by that. But that love, in all its different expressions, from them to Krishna, for Krishna to them, it was on the basis of pure love, pure divine love. The gopis were in a drunken state. They were God intoxicated. They were unconscious of their earthly existence. They were drowned in the ocean of divine bliss. This cannot be imagined. Only those who have gone through it know what it is. But this was their exalted state. They were unaware of their physical existence, of the world around them. They were only aware of divine bliss, of communion with Krishna. To love God as a man, being confused with his real identity, is unlawful. To love any creature and not as divinity embodied is unlawful. Impure and selfish love taints the heart of man. And it is these impurities that must be removed. The eyes must, if the vision is not yet available, it should be implemented. You should always see the divine wherever you are looking. And eventually you will really see it, because that's the only thing that it is there. Sutra 24. There, in that illicit love, there can certainly never be happiness of the other. And again, let me just refer a little bit back to the other sutra. The thing is, if you're still keeping some desires, if you still have worldly desires, attachments, that love for God can never reach its purity, because as it is purifying, you are moving away from your attachments, from the objects of desires. They are becoming more far away. And you become closer to really see the unreality of all of that. And as attachment and desire is there, you will not be able to move towards God. And you will always try to bring God towards you. That love doesn't elevate, doesn't purify. It's just another aspect of illusion. It's illicit, it makes no sense, and it's not a real devotional practice. Purity comes first, then there's spiritual life. Without purity, spiritual life may come as something to help you, to encourage you, but it cannot remain. So there, in that illicit love, there can certainly never be happiness of the other, because it is about self-happiness. So in that love, it is about self-happiness. So showing that love, and everybody does this, to show how devotee I am, or how many things I do for you, and all these things. Usually this is not about the other, it's about oneself. And this has no element of purity in it. And even if it seems that you are serving others, we see this constantly at the human level. People complaining, oh, I've done so much for these people. And they do not appreciate it. They do not recognize it. So there's a sneeze here. So that which they are saying that they have done so much for the other, if they are getting frustrated from that, it's not about the other, it's about themselves. In some way, that service is supposed to come back to them. So this is not divine love. This is worldly love. In that love, there's no idea in one's feeling happy in the happiness of others. So in that human love, that illicit love, there is no happiness, feeling happy because the other, the beloved, is happy. There's just happiness when it comes to me. In the case of the gopis, they tried to make him happy by offering their all to him. They were not his devotees, so that he would make them happy, even though they accessed the highest, the supreme happiness. But that was not their goal. Their goal was to make Krishna happy, to make God happy. They gave everything of themselves to make him happy. The gopis did not care about their own happiness. The happiness of Sri Krishna, pleasing him, was the purpose of all their activities. They didn't want anything in return but the happiness of Krishna. So they sacrificed everything they had, they were, into making Krishna happy. And they became happy because of his happiness. They renounced all comforts, all worldly duties, in order to worship Shri Krishna and make him happy. They renounced everything just to make Shri Krishna happy. So it's a very big vision from the normal standard of worshiping God, doing meditation and all these things so that I can achieve happiness, so that I can achieve liberation. This is common and this is impure. And this brings little fruit. It brings some fruit, it helps to purify and to rise above worldliness. Yes, for sure. But only when it becomes pure that you reach this level. Their goal, their sacrifices, about their comforts and all of this, it was to make Krishna happy. And they were happy in his happiness. It's different from saying, okay, so I'll make all these sacrifice to make Krishna happy so that he can bless me with happiness or bless me with anything. It's not the same than saying that I will give up everything, give everything to Krishna to make him happy, and I will be happy in his happiness. This is a different level. Conditional love will never bring happiness. Conditional worship will never bring purity. Their love was exceedingly pure, divine and transcendent. They were in love by the soul of the universe, by God, not by a man. Even seeing a man, the body of a man, they would look through it and see God. They were serving God. There's not entering that subject too soon. They surrendered all their possessions to Shri Krishna. They offered their body, mind, intellect, wealth, youth, and life itself. Their body, mind, intellect, wealth, youth, and life itself. And for a woman, youth is a very big thing. It's probably even more than wealth and all the rest, because it can bring all the rest or not. It is a very important time span. And for people at large, time span is very important. In a way, similar, because the time that you are investing to the one who is not pure yet, the love is not pure, the time that you are investing in devotion, in spiritual practice, you are not investing in your worldly desires. Well, not directly, but already explained. If they are there, everything that you're doing is an investment towards desires, but you don't know that. So in your mind, because of your anxiety towards the desires, when you're doing your spiritual practices, you are not investing in that direction. And that brings anxiety. And eventually, either you take one or you take the other. So time is very important because of this. Because you have a certain amount of time and time runs out. This is why it cannot be kept for too long. Because if you're doing spiritual practices, if you're devoting yourself to God, but wanting something in return, it will not come. And eventually, time, the importance of time will become gradually higher. And either you continue your devotion and let go of those desires, or you will break your devotion, go back to your desires that were the primary devotion. They were restless if they forgot Sri Krishna even for a second. This has been repeated all along because it is very important. That state of attachment for Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna was not an object, a sensual object. It was God. So their ultimate attachment for God made them suffer if they forgot God even for a second. And this is interesting to see the difference for those who are practicing mantras, for example, and they spend a lot of time without remembering the mantra. They don't even remember that the mantra is the name of God while they are practicing it. They don't even remember that calling God is an act of devotion and that love should be in every repetition. Now look at these gopis, that if they forgot for a second Krishna, they would become miserable. They understood the greatness of Krishna. Again, they knew who he was, and it was for him alone that they were devoted, not to a man, but to Sri Krishna, to God. Their happiness depended only on his happiness. They rejoiced in his happiness. This is why they did everything to please him. They devoted their lives, their body, everything they had, their time, everything, just to make him happy. And they would rejoice in his happiness. In illicit love, there is no sacrifice. There's deep selfishness. It's mercenary about one's profit. Sometimes it doesn't look like it. It seems that the person is taking care and doing all things for the others. Or in the case for a saint, for a guru, for an enlightened one, whatever. But it takes time to reach that purity. It takes time to be free of selfishness. And when you are happy through the happiness of the beloved, that's when it is becoming more and more pure. And here, there's no sacrifice in that illicit love, the love that wants something in return. There's no sacrifice, even if there appears to be sacrifices. I already heard many saying, oh, I've done this and this. Oh, I've sacrificed this and this. Oh, why are you complaining? Because it wasn't a sacrifice, it was an investment. And this is impure and doesn't bring fruits apart from frustration. And even if you say, oh, I've done so much, and you're saying this, it means you have done nothing yet. In divine love, the devotee sacrifices everything onto the Lord. There is a sense of self-forgetfulness. There is no trace of selfishness. The devotee doesn't care at all with his own happiness. He is willing to court suffering to make his beloved happy. Okay.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhushka sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva.